Good morning. Every day I wake up in a beautiful place. Bainbridge Island is where I live with my family. It's a gorgeous little island just to the west of downtown Seattle, close enough to visit anytime we like, far enough to be calm and quiet. I start my mornings early, before the 4-year-old and the wife are up. Jade, our dog, is my early morning companion and is ready to go. So often my morning really starts with a walk, a quiet walk around the block, before the rest of the island really wakes up. Usually, my soundtrack for the morning is a podcast. Maybe it's Tim Ferriss interviewing another amazing person, or Wes and Scott talking front-end development. Roman discusses architectural or esoterica, or Brett does some DevOps and Docker talk, though I tend to listen to the ones before I joined as a co-host. But this morning, I did something a little bit different. Rather than learning about others, I chose to learn about myself. I started quiet, just focused on the road and each step ahead of me. But then I put on one of my favorite apps and listened to it generate a new soundtrack. Endel is that app. Endel has a mode called Move. It pays attention to the weather, my heart rate, and my step count to build an audio environment perfect for me right now. As any of those factors change, the music changes to stay in sync with me. My walk starts with a long, gradual climb, and then I turn and go down a hill towards a gap in the trees and houses. I felt like I was in a calming movie. The sky and weather were perfect, and I was listening to a sound that was completely in sync with where I was and how I was moving. Jade is oblivious and does her business, smelling smells, doing what dogs do, slowly. The second half of the walk is slowly down through a tunnel of trees. At the end, I see a house that looks like a lighthouse on the other side of Murden Cove. So quiet, so peaceful. Occasionally I stop Endel and just listen to the birds, announcing the start of the day. But I started up again. As I turn one of the final bends, it's the big reward of the route. A view of the Sound and sometimes Mount Rainier, and more often Seattle. It's gorgeous. Manitou Beach is ahead. A short climb later, and our home peeks out from the grasses and trees. I am lucky enough to live in a beautiful place, and I appreciate it every day. And on mornings like this, with my view as the scenery and Endel as the soundtrack, I'm more ready than ever to take on my day. I really love Endel. I use it every day. It's often playing as I work and taken the place of every other app I've ever tried for this kind of thing. You can find it in whatever your app store is. The music you're hearing is not Endel because, licensing. But maybe if they watch the video and are okay with it, I can update it with something closer to what I heard this morning. I hope you found this useful, and I'll leave you with the view from my house. Through the grasses, you can see a little bit of Seattle, my little piece of paradise.